Using the Custom Postcard Creator. Welcome to our Custom Postcard Editor. This feature cannot be used on Internet Explorer, so make sure you're using another browser such as Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, or Safari. This feature is available through direct mail or email, but in this example, we will be demonstrating direct mail. So I click Mail a Single Postcard, and then choose Custom Postcard Creator to move straight to the postcard canvas. To create your own postcard, start with the Size menu. You can choose from Standard, Jumbo, Panoramic, or Full Size. For this example, I'm going to create a jumbo card. Please note that the card canvas is shown to scale, so pay attention to the guides at the top and left side of the canvas. To add images to your card, you can go to one of two places. You can start by clicking Stock Images to use one of our images, or you can use your own images by clicking the My Images button. Here in My Images, I will start by adding a new image folder. The folder name defaults, but you can change the folder using the Rename Folder option to reflect any name you would like. To add images to your folder, use the button labeled Add Images to this folder and upload images from your hard drive using the Browse button. Select your image and click Open to upload. This may take a few seconds. Once you've uploaded images to your My Images folder, you can rename the image by selecting Rename or just select Use this image to insert it into the postcard canvas. Once an image has been added to your postcard, it will create a layer on the canvas. Different layers composed of images and text fields are shown on the Layers palette to the left. You can use this palette to control the image or the text field. If you don't want to keep the default name assigned to the image, double-click on the layer name to edit the name as it is shown on the palette, and then hit Enter to save the new name. Let's use this image as a background image for the front of the postcard. I can double-click the image or select it by using the checkbox to the left of the image name in the Layers palette. I can then use the markers at the corners to drag the image to make it larger or smaller. Look to the right of the screen and you'll see the image palette. Notice the option that says Constrain Aspect Ratio. This option is selected by default, meaning that when I adjust my image, the original aspect ratio will be preserved. I can choose to deselect this option if I want the image to be stretched in any way. When placing my image, especially one being used as a background image, I need to pay attention to the red trim or bleed line. My image should extend out at least to the far edges of this translucent red area to ensure that when the postcard is printed and cut, there will be no white space around the edges. Since this is my background layer, I'm going to select the Lock option at the right of the layer name on the Layers palette to lock the background into place. I can unlock it by deselecting this box. I'm now going to add an element. There are 4 element styles available for each postcard size, so all I need to do is click the Elements button and select the one that I like. I'm going to choose the second option, which adds a single bar at the bottom of the card. When inserted, the element will automatically be sized and adjusted perfectly to fit the card size I'm working with. So I will go ahead and lock this layer into place as well. If I decide I would rather use a different element, I can unlock and then select this layer, then click Replace Image on the Image palette. This brings me back to the Elements menu so that I can choose a different one to replace the original. This Replace option is also available for stock images and My Images. Now I'm going to add a new image to the postcard front. I will go back to Stock Images to choose a new image and use keywords to find the image I need. I click Show Available Keywords to see an alphabetical list of available keywords. If I need to search by a specific keyword, I will click the letter that the keyword begins with to see if that is an option. I click Search with these keywords to see the results. Again, I click the image to see an enlarged preview, then click Select this image to place it on the postcard canvas. I now have one background image and another smaller image. I will now insert a text field by clicking the Text button. If I do not need to save this particular verbiage permanently in my account, I will simply click Add New Blank Text Area to Card. This adds a text box with the words Sample Text, which I can edit and save to the card canvas. If I want to save a text set and use it later, I will first need to create a category to save it in. The categories are completely customizable, so I first select New to create a new one. I place the cursor in the text field, type the category title I want, and then I click Save. I can now click Add New Text to Library, and the name and body of my text field will be saved in my new category. All I need to do to add it to my postcard canvas is click the Place button. I then have the opportunity to make changes, or simply click Save and Exit. Notice that the text field is now included in my Layers palette, so that it will work with my images. I want my text field to always be situated just below the small image, so I will place them accordingly and then select both at once using the Layers palette in order to move or adjust both of them at the same time. I can now use the tools in the Layers palette to align the combined text and image layer. Top, middle, and bottom will align the layer vertically, while the left, center, and right will align the layer horizontally. I want this combined layer at the bottom right. Keep in mind that when multiple layers are selected for alignment, they will align in relation to each other, not individually. I can also use the Layers palette at this time to send a layer backward or forward on the canvas, so that it shows above or below any other layer. Now that the front of my postcard looks exactly the way I want it, I can move to the back of my card. The first thing I need to include is my return address information, since it is not inserted automatically as with pre-made postcards. I will insert a blank text box by clicking on Text and then choosing Add New Blank Text Area to the card. Now I will fill in my name and return address, hitting the Enter key to make line breaks in order to keep it postal compliant. When I'm finished, I simply click Save and Exit, then place the text box at the top left corner of the card. If needed, I can use the text palette at this time to adjust the aspects of the text I just created. I would like the leading to be slightly increased, so I move the tracking bar further to the right. I am now going to insert a message to my client using a second text field. I would like this text to be in Windsong font, size 30, so I make the appropriate adjustments in the text palette. I would like the color to be blue, so I click the color box and choose the shade that I like by clicking on it, and then I'll click OK to make the changes. I can also adjust the transparency of the text using the bar below the leading bar, or add the shadow feature. I can automatically insert my company logo here on the back of the card by simply clicking the Logo button. This pulls the logo from the settings of my account, so that I can now work with it as I would a regular image. I like it as it is, so I will simply move it to the corner of my card. If I make a mistake while editing my postcard, there are Undo and Redo buttons to go backward and forward in the sequence of steps I've taken. For example, if I delete my logo and then change my mind, I will simply click Undo to bring it back. The Reset button will clear the card canvas completely, allowing me to start over. This cannot be undone, so make sure to save your card before using this function. My card is not complete without my agent photo. I will select My Images to upload a photo of myself, which I can then insert into my card canvas. The image is a little large, so I'm going to use the cropping function to cut it down. Make sure the photo is selected in the Layers palette, and then click on Crop Image from the Image palette. Click anywhere on the image, and then drag the mouse to create a crop box. The box will have adjustable tabs on the corners for a perfect image crop. The area outside the box I've created will be removed after I click Crop Image. My postcard is now ready to be sent. I first need to save it by clicking Load Save, and then Save Current Postcard to Library. I then need to choose a name for my card, keeping in mind that only letters, numbers, underscores, and hyphens are allowed, no other special characters. I then click Save and close the box. I can now generate a proof by clicking on the Proof button to see a PDF document showing exactly what my card will look like. The PDF will be in full print resolution, so if I want, I can print and mail the card on my own. I now want to send my card to my clients. I click Send and wait a moment for it to load. I can then choose recipients for my postcard, just like the sending process for pre-made cards. Since this is a direct mail postcard, I can choose a single client, group of clients, or mailing list. I'm going to select a group of my clients. Then click the checkbox next to the groups that I want to include in order to add them to my recipient list. I can also deselect certain clients from the right side column if needed. When I've finished, I click Continue to move on. On the next page, my custom card back is automatically selected. I can choose to use a pre-made card back from the system, however, by using the drop-down menu to choose another category. For example, if I want to use a generic branded template, I will simply click on that option and then scroll through the card backs to find a style that I like. Since this is a custom postcard, there is no suggested text for the card back. If I want to add any verbiage, I must type it into the text field at the top of the page. I want to use the card back I just created, so I will go back to Custom Card Back and continue. Here I will verify the number of recipients and total charge for my postcard. I continue by clicking Next Step and now see the final proof of both the front and the back of the card. I can click Previous Step to go back if I need to make changes. Otherwise, I will click I accept these terms. Please launch this campaign to have my postcards printed and mailed directly to the recipients I've chosen. I will now briefly go through the same process with an email postcard to demonstrate the differences. Email postcards are always created in jumbo size, so there is no card size menu to choose from. Also, since it is not a physical card, there is no card back to create. I will now load a previously created card to send. Once it finishes loading, I will choose a single recipient using the Quick Search function. Remember here to click on the client's name, not the email address, to continue. The verbiage page here requires a subject, which will appear as the email subject in your client's inbox. The text that you type in the verbiage box will appear below the postcard image in the email when it is opened. From here, the sending process is the same as sending a direct mail postcard. The price will be $0, since emails to your clients are free. Finally, I approve the final proof and click the button that says, "Click here to send your material." Thanks for watching this video on custom postcards.